Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's by user Dalek Philosopher. I, male 31, don't like tattoos and my soon-to-be wife, female 30, just got one in the worst possible place. As the title says, I don't like tattoos. I don't think you are special for having one. I don't think you're a deep person for getting a random Chinese character on your skin, and I especially don't like those intricate big tattoos that cover a lot of skin. I just don't like them. Having said that, I have friends who have all of the above, and that's fine. It's not my skin, it doesn't bother me. And as long as we can talk about anything else, it's all fine. Enter my soon-to-be wife. We've been together for 5 years. She is painfully aware of my feelings, but she still wanted to have a tattoo before we married. A symbol of us to carry with her. I didn't really like the idea, but what can I really do? I love her, and what harm can a tattoo do? We talked about where she would have it done, and the back of the wrist came as a suggestion. The shoulder, on her leg, on her back, etc. She goes and has it done, and I can't be there with her because I have an important client visiting at work and time off is impossible. She texts me during work. She tells me it's done, that she loves me. I ask for a picture of the end result and she tells me tonight it'll be a surprise. When I finally get home, she's dolled up in a super tight black dress, stocking and everything for her night of fun. She tells me to have a shower and that she will have dinner ready in the meantime. I asked to see the tattoo and she told me later. I am frustrated. Still, I have the shower, come back and have dinner. Then we go to the fun stuff. I don't see the tattoo on her wrist or legs, so I thought to myself it was either on her back, upper thigh, or on her shoulder. I am fine with that. I undo her zipper in the back and then she turns and lets her dress down. Instant boner killer. She had it done on her chest, above her breasts. It's big and in your face. It leaks over her breasts, like on the top of her breasts. It has thick contours. Yeah, this didn't go well with me. She completely ignored my opinions. She disregarded the places where we agreed she could have it done, and it's a monstrosity of a tattoo in a place where I will always have to see it if we make love, or she wears a bikini, or something that has a cleavage. It is also about something that is personal to me. Of all the things she mentioned that tattoo would be, she never told me about this. She said she wanted it to be a gift to me, to show me her dedication. I feel disrespected and ignored, like my wishes and desires have no meaning to her. To me, it shows what she thinks my status will be in our relationship, that she will just be able to go over anything I say and make drastic decisions without caring about the consequences. Well, a consequence of this is that I'm calling off the wedding. She is in freak-out mode, says she thought I would like it. She wanted to show her dedication to me and that she would have it removed. Basically, anything she thinks I want to hear. My side of the family is understanding of my reaction. They know my standing on this matter and they know it isn't something I just liked to pretend I hated but secretly loved. Her side of the family is split. Her mother is more conservative, so her motives are not too straightforward. Her father is on my side. Her sister is all in on dear sister's side. Her brother is neutral and doesn't want to get involved. To me, even if she gets the tattoo removed, it shows her willingness to ignore my side of things, do things her way, then scramble and try to fix the eventual F-up. I can't have that in a relationship. What do you guys think? The wedding is definitely off. That decision I won't revert. What steps would you take regarding the relationship? Is there anything worth saving here? Is this how she will always be? Or was this a spur-of-the-moment decision? Any advice will be appreciated. Thank you. Okay, I know I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, but I'm siding more with OP than with the fiancé, and for one particular reason. They had reached a compromise and she threw it out the window. Now, before some of you get angry at me, I know that she can put ink wherever she wants. It's her body, she can chop off an arm if she wants to. To me, it's not about that. And it's also not about OP trying to be controlling over her body or anything like that. To me, the issue is, she knows that this thing bothers him for some particular reason. but he made it very clear that she is aware of how big of an issue this is to him. Still, she wanted to get one, so they talked about it. She asked for his opinion, and they reached a compromise. They talked about all the potential places and the potential sizes and all of that stuff. And even though OP hates this thing and is very uncomfortable with it, he compromised and said, well, you know what? If you're gonna do it, this is what I'm comfortable with. And apparently she accepted that. And then she decided to go off script. That's where I don't agree with her. Compromise is key in a relationship. And if you compromise and then break it, well, yeah, it's discouraging. Now, OP's reaction of canceling the wedding and maybe ending the relationship, I'm still on the fence at that one. I mean, if it was a recurring thing where she would dismiss him this way, then sure. But this is just a one-time thing, apparently. And what do you guys think about this situation? How would you try to go about it if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Killer of Demons says, not that this will change anything, and for the record, I'm on your side with this, but there is no chance she could get that tattoo successfully removed. At best, she'll be left with a bunch of muddy lines and a blob of color. Tattoo removal isn't like an eraser, it's a long, painful process that removes light ink and lightens heavy ink. What the hell was she thinking? For the record, I'm heavily tattooed and have had tattoo ideas I haven't gone through with because my wife didn't like them. Marriage is a team sport, and if you can't support your teammate, you can't play. Hugh Mandrake says, if you're quickly willing to break up with her over a tattoo, I don't know if it was gonna work out anyways. Not trying to be rude, and I respect your opinion, but out of all the trials and tribulations you could be faced with together, in my big picture view, it seems like this is lesser in comparison to what could have been. And OP responds, I think it foreshadows her line of thinking in the relationship, how easy it is for her to make decisions with complete disregard of previous discussions. This is a huge red flag, to be honest. Captain Tack says, my wife and I are both inked up, and I am with OP 100%. What his soon-to-be wife did was tasteless and shows an inability to follow through with something they talked about and agreed on, and it is permanent, forever. Forget that her body, her choice crap. You are married and gotta look at her and it from now on. At least my wife and I agreed on every piece we each got, and when one said no to what the other one wanted, we didn't do it behind each other's back. Additional information from OP's comments. We decided upon certain areas where she could have it done. She had it done in an area where I would have never agreed to. And yes, her body, her choice, true, but I'm not obligated to spend my life next to that body because I have a choice too, and her choices have consequences. And no, I don't see how this is controlling. She doesn't like it when I don't shave, so I clean shave all the time. She doesn't like it when I wear shorts, so I wear long pants. I stopped going to watch football with my friends because she thinks I ignore her, so I watch it at home now. She, of course, still goes and has dates with her girlfriends, and I should not feel ignored, and other things like that. I went against my opinions of tattoos and agreed she could have one, but not like this. I've been sitting on this problem for 2 weeks. I love her, and because of this, I agreed with the tattoo. She says she loves me, but she seems to be perfectly fine disregarding my feelings. This is something I can't seem to be able to shake off. I think marriage should be a relationship of equals in all decisions. I think she is showing me her opinion on that as well, and it is not the same as mine. Although we have discussed marriage many times in the past, and she always agreed with me. You can't have it both ways. A relationship is a compromise. That was attempted here, but my fiancé decided to do what she wanted. I have always respected her limits and opinions. I expect the same in return. Finally, the tattoo is wings that form a heart. Inside the heart, there is a symbol that is the same as a birthmark I have on my body. It looks like a flower. Think 5 petals. If you saw it, you'd think I had a flower form pressed on my skin, and it left a mark there. She asked me where I would like it to be done, and I offered some options. She mentioned others. At no point did we ever discuss her having it done on her chest, breasts, belly, neck, or face, and she decided to get that tattoo above her breasts on her chest. Alright, well, the community has different opinions, but the majority of them are backing OP. And OP gave us a lot of context that does help me understand that this was a compromise and she did go off script. In any case, it's time to move on to the update to see what happened next and how the story ends. But of course, before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. I would like to thank those who provided feedback and perspective instead of straight out calling me an a-hole. To cut it short, we will continue with the wedding as planned. We realize we still need to work on our communication, but we are also painfully aware of how miserable we both were during this whole ordeal. This has been our first serious fight. What happened? Insecurity. She had this idea that I didn't think she was dedicated to our relationship and she wanted to prove me wrong somehow. Turns out, the end result wasn't something she was happy with either. My initial reaction didn't help, and for the next few days, things spiraled out of control. After the post here on Reddit, I decided we needed to sit down and put our ducks in order. I love her and she loves me, and there was no reason why we would not be able to untangle this mess. Now, some of you asked why I hate tattoos, and all she knew was that I am not a fan of them, but not the reason. When I was younger, a lot younger, I was horribly abused by someone who had many tattoos, and I won't give you details about it. Now, I don't associate people who have tattoos with abuser, but I am also not a fan of the tattoo culture because of it. She didn't know, because I never talked with her about it. I suppose I never wanted her to think I was vulnerable, or that I was. You can imagine, after these many years, my thoughts on the matter are still mixed. And to be clear, the problem was never from a physical point of view. It is about what they represent to me. Simply to me, the tattoo is a symbol of something I hate, and I don't understand why my reaction to it is necessarily an evil one, according to some of you. We talked through the issue. Right now, it is not as important. I can learn to live with her tattoo. I can't live without her. Now that I understand why she had it done and what her thought process was, I met her halfway. Anyway, she was horrified to learn about why I hate tattoos and started crying, and she will have the tattoo removed. Unfortunately, it will be time consuming. She read it will take around 15 or more sessions and she needs a few weeks between sessions, so it won't be done overnight. She regrets it, because it didn't end up how she thought it would be, and because now she also understands where I come from and what they represent to me. We are working on ourselves now. The tattoo is a secondary concern right now. After the original post, I have come to the conclusion that her new skin decoration is something I will have to live with, but at the end of the day, she is the one I want, and a mild annoyance will not define our relationship. I told her this, but she will get it removed anyway. I think she is horrified by the revelation of what happened to me. Sad face. We decided on couples counseling to see if it is something that will work for us. If either of us will be uncomfortable, we will not continue with it. We'll also try not to be a-holes to one another in petty matters. I will wear shorts again, damn it. Haha, that was a funny conversation. We won't impose restrictions on one another. I will go out with my friends and watch football with them again. She can go and meet her girlfriends. We will put a lot of work into ourselves individually and as a couple. Turns out, we have a problem with communication, but the prospects are positives. Her insecurities didn't want me to go out with friends, because some of them are single, and what if they bring women there that try to tempt me? So she always had to be there. But she doesn't like football, so you can see where this is going. I am happy with the results of the original post. She is happy I took the initiative and broke the ice. My fears were she had the tattoo done as a power play, but there was no malice. I want a relationship of equals where a decision can be made as a couple. We will see where this is going, but the last 2 days have been amazing. I was asked this question, so here's the answer. We live together. We own a house 50-50. That night of the tattoo reveal, I went to my parents and she went to her parents. Essentially, until 2 days ago, none of us lived at home. She said she doesn't want to be there if I'm not there, and as a closing note, this could have been a huge mistake for both of us. Communication is key. I urge couples out there to learn from my story and open up to one another. Had I done that sooner, I would have never been here. Thank you. Alright, well, I'm gonna call this a happy update. The relationship is still together and they're growing stronger because they're gonna get help and they understand now that communication is key. Also, we kinda now understand why OP hates tattoos or why he made that connection. Apparently, what happened to him was really horrible, enough that it made her cry when she heard about it. So, on that note, here's hoping and wishing the best for you, OP, and your fiance. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. Now, let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user MacMex. Any quote from any book we've read? You got it, ma'am. This happened about 5 years ago, but the memory came back to me as I was driving to work. I, 17 female at the time, was in my senior year of high school. I was an AP kid, meaning that I took nearly all AP classes, college-level courses for high schoolers, during my last 2 years of high school. I really didn't want to be drowning in homework though, so I opted to take General English in 11th and 12th grade, despite the many pleas of my teachers. I did take Honors English in 9th and 10th grade though. I just didn't care enough about the subject to do all the extra work, even though I was smart enough to do it. That being said, my 12th grade English teacher really liked me because I was respectful but not a kiss-ass, and I actually did the work and didn't do the bare minimum. She was cool, albeit a bit quirky, like neon yellow and teal split dye hair on a 52-year-old woman, but she had a rule of no swearing. Mostly because of the whole, if you give him an inch, they'll take a mile mindset all teens have. I wasn't bothered by it because I didn't swear much, but she made it a big deal. Remember that for later. Now let's get to the actual malicious compliance. As a final project of sorts for the class, we had to make a memory box of our high school experience, and then we would all present our boxes to the class. We had to write letters to our past selves, have trinkets that represent each other, projects we were proud of, etc. One of the things we needed was a quote from a book we've read in our English classes that reminds us of each year. Remember how I said I took honor English in the 10th grade? Well, that was the year that honors students, and only honors students, read my favorite book, Catcher in the Rye. I love the writing style. I know Holden is insufferable. If you don't know the book, the main character has an existential crisis over the corruption of the youth and purity of other stuff. In one scene, he says "F you" written in a school stairwell in a kid's handwriting, and he freaks out. Admittedly, I was struggling with my mental health a lot in high school, specifically in the 11th grade, so I thought a quote where the character has life throw a big F you in your face was an appropriate summary. I checked with my teacher not once, not twice, but 3 times to make sure any book we read in our English classes was fine. She was definitely suspicious and knew I was going to do something. I'm sure she thought I'd do a call out on my peers or something. That was a bit of a controversy in its commentary, but I was a goody one shoe. Not fully a 2 shoes kind of person, but I definitely was not breaking the rules, so she wasn't worried. The rest of the story should be pretty clear now. When it was my turn to present, I showed off my trinkets, letters, and monologue, and then it got to the quotes. I did my 9th and 10th grade quotes, and then I paused. I was worried that I should back out, but then I thought about when the next time I'd be able to boldly say those 2 words in front of a group of people with undivided attention again. So I took my moment and read the quote. It felt like one of those and everybody clapped moments. The class went crazy. The kids that never did a single assignment were on their feet cheering, and the track and field kids were laughing and sharing "oh my gods" with each other. Everyone was definitely paying attention now, and there was so much commotion that it took quite a few minutes to calm down. Keep in mind, for everyone else, the smart good girl just broke the teacher's biggest rule in a hyper-public way. This was a jaw-dropping moment for 17-year-olds. I quickly finished my last quote and hurried back to my seat. A couple of kids dapped me on my short walk, but the teacher looked pissed. I don't remember what happened afterward. I'm pretty sure she said something disapproving and moved on. After class, I knew I had to apologize to the teacher, and she said she was disappointed, but that she also couldn't do anything about it because I was just doing the assignment. And I did ask several times beforehand. She kind of gave me a smirk when she said it, as she realized how deviously calculated it was while still adhering to the rubric. I didn't get in any trouble and got full points on the assignment. It made me smile remembering the story. I hope you do too. Well, OP, the rules were very clear. You could pick any quote from any book that you had read in your time in English class, and you did. So good for you, and maybe this actually helps your teacher to make the rules a little bit more clear to go in line with their classroom rules. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.